right now on 15 News Now.
Scallop season starts this weekend. We'll tell you what you need to know. Also, the president says Wednesday's Supreme Court ruling on marriage is a victory for American democracy. Plus, Independence Day is less than a week away. Tips on staying safe. I'll also have your latest Storm Tracker weather forecast. 15 News Now starts right now.
Coverage you can count on. 15 News Now starts now.
On Thursday, we told you that Governor Scott wants scalloping to start this weekend. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dustin Coppin for Fred Dawkins. Our top story on 15 News Now. If you're going scalloping for the first time, there's a lot to know. Lieutenant Patrol Supervisor Scott Lee says there are safety measures you must take.
Once the diver goes in the water, the vessel is required to display a dive flag 20 by 24 inches at the highest point above the vessel where it can be seen as boats approach from all sides. If a diver's in the water and doesn't use a vessel and wades off from shore, it must be 12 by 12 on a buoy or float attached to the diver at all times.
Scott tells us how far away you must be once in the water.
Once those dive flags are up, out in the open waters, when everyone's scalloping, you must stay 300 feet away. I tell everyone a good reference is the length of a football field as you're approaching. If you approach inside that 300 feet, you must maintain just enough momentum to maintain steerage. Anything other than that would be a violation. And look out for other divers.
To get the scalloping season underway, the local area is having a Scallopalooza. It's located between Roy's Restaurant and Krabby Dad's Bar and Grill. Planner Linda Wicker says that there will be a lot of food as well as other fun things to do.
We'll have live music. We'll have some local talent as well as Steel Bridge will be playing. Clay Brooker and his band will be playing. We're having a poker run, which is really a poker putt, we're calling it, since we're doing it primarily on golf carts.
Linda says that there will also be a big raffle for a big screen TV. The event gets underway on Saturday at 4 p.m. In testy exchanges, George Zimmerman's defense attorney insinuated that the young woman who was on the phone with Trayvon Martin shortly before he was fatally shot wasn't believable because of inconsistencies in her story. But 19-year-old Rachel Janetel held firm in her testimony about what she heard over the phone while talking with Martin the night the teen was shot and killed by Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch volunteer. A big milestone in the immigration debate. The Senate has approved a comprehensive immigration reform bill, but Speaker of the House John Boehner says he will not take up the Senate bill. He says his goal is to create his own bill. Ephraim Graham reports.
The bill as amended is passed.
When this legislation finally becomes law, it will make us stronger as a nation.
Here in America, generations of unfulfilled dreams will finally come to pass. And that's why I support this reform. Not just because I believe in immigrants, but because I believe in America even more.
The Senate's sweeping immigration bill includes a path to citizenship for millions of undocumented immigrants, expands visas for low-skilled workers, and carries some of the toughest enforcement measures ever. Supporters of the bill say it will also help secure the U.S.-Mexico border, increasing the number of agents and the amount of fencing. But opponents say there's no guarantee the border will actually be secure because so much is left to the discretion of the Department of Homeland Security.
There's just no way I can look at my constituents, look them in the eye, and tell them that today's assurances won't become tomorrow's disappointments.
House Republicans want to make sure security measures are in place and working effectively before agreeing to a path to citizenship.
People have to have confidence that the border is secure before anything else is really going to work. Otherwise, we repeat the mistakes of 1986.
The immigration bill now heads to the House, where it's sure to face tough challenges. Many Republicans in the House are working on their own immigration legislation. House Speaker John Boehner says the House won't vote on any immigration bill until he's certain it will pass.
Look at our evening planner throughout this evening. We will see a chance of isolated thunderstorms. 86 degrees at 7 p.m. By 9 p.m., 83. And by midnight, down to about 80 degrees, so definitely a warm evening on tap. What does your weekend look like? I'll let you know coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast. When we come back, the president says Wednesday's Supreme Court ruling on marriage is a victory for American democracy. That story coming up only on 15 News Now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
You're watching 15 News Now with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 15 News Now continues.
The president says Wednesday's Supreme Court ruling on marriage is a victory for American democracy. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie disagrees, calling the move to erase part of the Federal Defense of Marriage Act a decision and an example of judicial supremacy. For Christians, that question is, what does that mean for our religious freedoms? Heather Sells reports.
Speaking while on tour in Africa, the president praised the Supreme Court decisions and acknowledged concerns about religious liberty.
When it comes to people's personal views and their religious faith, etc., I think we have to respect the diversity of views that are there. But when it comes to how the state treats people, how the law treats people, I believe that everybody has to be treated equally.
But how that tension plays out is unclear.
The Supreme Court, though they may think so, have not yet arisen to the level of God.
What worries many in the faith community, Justice Kennedy writing that, quote, animus against gays motivated Congress to pass the Defense of Marriage Act. The Family Research Council now fears discrimination lawsuits against Christians that don't support gay marriage. What is clear, change at the federal level is already underway. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel says the Pentagon is working to extend benefits to the spouses of gay military members, and gay activists are doing more than just celebrating. They've already filed legislation that would give gay married couples federal benefits in all 50 states. The Respect for Marriage Act would effectively repeal DOMA by ensuring that state of ceremony trumps state of residence.
An American executive detained for nearly a week by his company's Chinese workers in a pay dispute has arrived back home in Florida. Chip Starnes arrived at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport early Friday. He told reporters he was relieved to be home after his nightmare experience. A new Florida law that speeds up how quickly the state carries out the death penalty is being challenged in the state Supreme Court. Attorneys Neil Dupree and Bill Jennings, who head the state agencies that represent death row inmates after they're convicted, are leading a lawsuit filed Wednesday afternoon against Attorney General Pam Bondi and the state of Florida. Signed by Governor Rick Scott earlier this month, the Timely Justice Act of 2013 creates tighter time frames for appeals, post-conviction motions, and imposes reporting requirements on case progress. The lawsuit claims that the new law unconstitutionally usurps the court's powers and violates convicts' constitutional rights to due process and equal protection. The challenge also asks for an injunction to keep the law from going into effect on Monday. A funeral was held for Cherish Periwinkle, the 8-year-old who authorities say was kidnapped and killed by a sex offender with a long criminal record. The Paxson Revival Center Church celebrated the girl's life Friday afternoon. Up next, Independence Day is less than a week away. Tips on staying safe. 15 News Now. We'll be right back.
Health Insurance Update. This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the Health Insurance Hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-0825. That's 800-794-0825. Call now.
And welcome back. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission is not taking any chances when it comes to the time-honored Independence Day tradition. On Thursday, the organization held fireworks safety demonstrations on the grounds of the National Mall in Washington, D.C. They used mannequins to show the dangers of illegal fireworks and improper use of the devices. Data shows that 60% of all fireworks injuries occur around the 4th of July. The commission said it's important to know which fireworks are safe.
Consumers should only use consumer fireworks, never use professional, illegal, or homemade fireworks. If you're going to use consumer fireworks, follow these simple steps. Have a dry, flat surface, always have a water hose available, never bend over a firework when you light it, and never pick up a dud.
Last year, more than 5,000 people were treated in emergency rooms around the country for firework-related injuries. The Midway Police Department will be launching 24-hour law enforcement coverage for the city of Midway starting Saturday. Police Chief Jerome Turner spoke with many residents about their issues and concerns as it relates to the police department, and 24-hour police services was essential. Previously, the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office was responsible for law enforcement services in the city of Midway between midnight and 8 a.m. Midway Police will now provide coverage for the city 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to ensure that the citizens are afforded and the most efficient and effective law enforcement services. For non-emergencies, you can call the Midway Police Department at 850-574-3057 or the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office Dispatch Unit at 850-875-8825. For all emergencies, please remember to call 911. A presidential commission dedicated to fixing voting problems hosted its first public meeting in Miami. The Presidential Commission on Election Administration convened at the University of Miami Friday for the day-long event. Up next, I'll have your Storm Tracker weather forecast. We'll be right back.
Mom! Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Currently we have temperatures on the warm side, 89 degrees under a cloudy sky. Feels like 95 though, with temperature of 72 as our current dew point, 57% humidity and a southwest wind at 9 miles per hour. Throughout the Big Bend, we are going to see weekend thunderstorms. We're also going to continue to see that hot and humid times over the area, and summer is definitely sticking around the area as well. Here's our forecast, what it looks like throughout the area on your Saturday. We do have a chance of heavy precipitation over portions of Missouri, or excuse me, crud. And there's no way I could just say, I mean, Florida, you know. And welcome back. Right now we have a temperature of 89 degrees. It's definitely on the warm side and cloudy skies, but feels like 95 out there with current dew point 72. Our humidity is at 57% and a southwest wind at 9 miles per hour. Throughout the area, we will continue to see possibility of some weekend thunderstorms. Hot and humid times rather continue, and it looks like summer is definitely sticking around. Forecast for your Saturday, we do have a big batch of showers and thunderstorms isolated in nature in some areas. Some areas could see more than others, but we are definitely going to see that, plus humid times as well as hot times over the area. Here's your forecast for if you have any evening plans. Showers and thunderstorms possible. Temperatures in the 80s all evening long. For tonight, we will see those showers and thunderstorms possible. For your forecast low, we will be on the warm side continuing. As we look at our forecast for this evening, we will see a low around 75 degrees, southwest wind 5 to 10. Then for tomorrow, still another warm day, 88 degrees and thunderstorms likely, southwest wind 10 to 15. Looking ahead the next several days, temperatures are going to start dropping a little bit for a couple days, but then we're going to start warming things back up to near 90 degrees. So off and on, warm temperatures and thunderstorms continue. Don't forget to get the latest weather information at our website. That's WSFD15.com. How young is too young to teach your kids smart money management? That's in today's Focus on the Family with Dr. Bill Meyer. And in the new action flick, White House Down, the nation's Capitol building is hijacked and the president is in danger. Bad situation? Yes. Bad guys? Yes. Bad language? Well, we'll let you know when we come back for a plugged-in movie review.
I can't travel. I can't sit for very long. I can't stand for very long. I can't sleep. It's difficult to find any joy. It's unbelievable how just a few months of taking Nopalea, how it's changed my life, how much better I feel. You just get a total appreciation, new appreciation for life that I haven't had in so long.
With over 8 million bottles of Nopalea sold, we know it will work for you. Pick up the phone and call now. Learn how to get your 32-ounce bottle of Nopalea free. You'll also receive the Secret Killer Special Report that talks about the dangers associated with inflammation and an audio CD that explains the science behind the Nopal Superfruit.
I just know it worked, and it helped me, and it'll help you too.
Get on the road to wellness now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family. So I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
With all the things parents need to teach kids, money issues are often overlooked. But as Dr. Bill Meyer explains in today's Focus on the Family, kids who don't understand finances are at risk for big trouble.
I've seen a lot of 20-year-olds with $30,000 worth of consumer debt on credit cards, and we don't want that to be the case for our kids.
A bookkeeper by profession, Joy Lake set up a system by which her kids could learn financial responsibility while they're still at home.
We had it set up, we called it Mom's Bank, and so we would have to record exactly how much money Mom owed us or we owed Mom.
They do know what CDs are, and they do know what savings accounts are versus checking accounts.
When they turned 12, the Lake kids got a checking account and learned to balance their checkbook. At 14, they were allowed to use their parents' credit card. But their spending was closely monitored, and they had to pay it back from their allowance.
And then at 17, our bank allows you to get a credit card in your own name. So Beth got her own credit card in her own name, and so she's establishing her own credit now.
Even at age 18, Mom and Dad can still help guide financial choices. Whatever system you use, it's a great idea to gradually transfer financial responsibility to your kids, a process that should start years before they leave the nest.
When a child is younger, if they make a mistake, it's likely to be maybe a quarter or a 50-cent mistake compared to a, $200 mistake or a $10,000 mistake that it can be later on.
And the Lake kids have learned their lesson well.
After I get about $100 in my long-term savings, I put it into a CD, and then it gets a lot more interest. That way I'm not tempted to just take it out.
Cash is not really always the best thing to have because it goes so easily. You want to buy a snack here or this and that, and so it's okay to spend money, but you should know where it's going.
For Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. Bill Meyer.
Dr. Meyer cautions parents to be sure they model good financial behavior as well as teach about it. If kids see you overusing credit cards, they'll be more likely to fall in the same habits. For more valuable information on life's issues, relationships, and family, visit our website, WSFD15.com, and click on the Focus on the Family link. Today's Plugged In Movie Review looks at the new action flick, White House Down.
Be advised, coming in for a final approach.
In the movie White House Down, John Cale is a D.C. security officer who's just itching for a job in the Secret Service. He's a divorced dad who wants to better his position and at the same time better his relationship with his daughter Emily.
I thought you would want this.
These are White House passes.
The politically savvy teen just happens to be the president's biggest fan. So when John finally finagles a Secret Service interview, he quickly arranges to take his daughter to the White House with him.
Why do you want to be in the Secret Service?
I can't think of a more important job than protecting the president.
Unfortunately, the timing of that visit doesn't work out so well.
Showtime!
Wouldn't you know it? That just happens to be the day that terrorists decide to strike the White House, blowing up the Capitol Rotunda and killing nearly every guard and soldier in the building.
Alpha 1, do you have the target? Roger that. We're holding the president in the library.
Luckily for our country, though, John Cale is on the scene to pick up the slack. I guess he could just think of all that unexpected bad guy thumping as part of the job interview. Full of explosions, car chases, and high-caliber bullet riddling, this Die Hard clone feels oh so familiar. It does have some positive things to say about selfless choices and family ties, but all that blow everything and everyone to smithereens violence combined with a big dose of foul language makes this particular visit to the White House less of a fun summer getaway. I'm giving White House Down just 2.5 demolished helicopters out of 5 for family friendliness. For an in-depth review of this film, or really anything else at your local theater, check out PluggedIn.com. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Bob Waliszewski for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
For more valuable information on current movies, DVD releases, as well as music, games, and TV shows, visit our website, WSFD15.com, and click on the PluggedIn.com link.
Mom! Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
This is Sports Zone.
The Miami Heat acquired the rights to second-round pick James Ennis in a trade Thursday night with the Atlantic Hawks. The Hawks acquired a future conditional second-round pick in the deal. Ennis was the number 50 selection. Miami entered the draft without any picks. The 6'7" Ennis plays shooting guard and small forward and spent his first 2 collegiate seasons at junior colleges. Ennis was the Big West Player of the Year this past season. The Orlando Magic have selected Indiana guard Victor Oladipo with the second pick in the NBA draft. The 6'4" Oladipo was first-team AP All-American after averaging 13.6 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 2.1 assists as a junior, leading the Hoosiers to their first outright Big Ten regular season championship in 20 years. The Orlando Magic have also selected 6'8" forward Romero Osby of Oklahoma with their second-round pick. The 51st overall pick in Thursday night's NBA draft, 23-year-old Romero averaged 16 points and 7 rebounds for the Sooners in his senior year. He played 2 years at Mississippi State before transferring to Oklahoma for his final 2 college seasons. He is from Meridian, Mississippi, and that's the day in sports.
And that does it for 15 News Now. Stay connected with us by visiting our website. That's WSFD15.com. We'll see you next time right back here on 15 News Now.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.